Hello, RaEl. I'm gonna try to explain some visuals. I think that will help get us through the L and the Ra. So I think L and R can be culturally, in all cultures, interchangeable. El Ra, RaEl, and then we can just do a few basic constellations, some ideation on your last name and another country is RaEl. Okay, so that's you need more explanation that so we have the words, the phonetics. If you have options, you got the options to have free will and project the phonetics that you wish into the ether, because there's only one single point of access, to an observer. There's only one array, array, and the all is in the center, right? That's the equal propagation across the hemispheres, longitudinal, right? And then you have the upward phonetics, Fa and Ra. Fa being more of a equal projection of the hemispheres, Ra being a more leftward ascension, right? And that's kind of the alchemy behind left, right, where they're interchange. It's like the human will, free will boiled down to directionality. Except there's ultimately more senses and stories that can be told through your senses, and this is where the phonetics branch into the actual geometries of the face. So, the most fundamental shape to build a face is the three dots. Okay, and then depending on the orientation of the three dots, you assign up, down, up and down. The triangles associated to the elements, right? Air, water, earth, fire. Combine all of that into one pure, all the elements combined, and you can assume that's the fifth state of matter, being, plasmic. But I haven't researched plasma. I know P is more of a leftward directional. If you're phonetics, you're more aligning to and with a more masculine and feminine expression, right? And then you kind of inject those phonetics into a torus field, and then that will build the geometry using the two aspects of the longitudinal and the angular, right? Kind of, boil it down to, the Masonic understanding and a artistic inner knowing, right? A connection with the mother that builds the temple, and it's in in support or in teamwork, we combine, and that is the cross, right? And there's all kinds of alchemy that people have tried to push into the cross, and when RaEl would be a nice balance between projecting left and projecting right. So, because you can, like with all things, you can overcompensate. You can have too much light, right? You can be blinded, or you can have no light and be completely in darkness. So, the oscillations between light and dark are directly associated to RaEl, the phonetics of RaEl, and then names can be boiled down into essentially three different functions. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Tom, Bull, and Tor. Tom being a Tom equals 1 bull, like bull, like the like hyperbole, bully, bullish, bolster. So there, so your bull would be starting with a masculine form, finishing on a feminine form in nice words, proper words. And that's an intuitive science at the moment. I think nice words and like scientifically proven unconductive words that are designed as weapons, and I think that America, the phonetics of all these names are used to confuse this brainwave coherence, and that points to MK Ultra. And so, I haven't dissected what, the M being like E except downwards, right? But atom, right? Being a phonetics that gets the spin going, right? The spin. And then east would be east. And then you can go, if you want to start correlating some big gods into big figures, timeless figures, we go E, Enki. And then and key or verses, verses, we'll do the verses, and Leo. Enki and Leo is a iota. It's an iota difference. Iota. So I don't know. There's some amount of, pretty much all correlation to 5D things are wrapped in the phonetic understanding of the torus field, and how the words and the way you are projecting words that coheres into the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, we're trying to hit that balance between, because this is the neutral zone in which we inhabit between light and dark, right? Between Ra and El. And just with basic plasma physics, if you have a drop of water, right? Here, I'll just a crappy drop of water into a puddle, then you kind of have the waves project out both manners, both ways, and the ability to decipher the apex of the wave, right, the sine wave, the sin wave, is the top, the apex, and the valley, right? 1 and 1. But if you have two snakes, then it gets more complicated, right? Depending on your alignment, you get some confusing structures. Maybe that's not the best example, but you can point to a different figure, right? The center point, and then my work, Da Vinci's work, and I've done some work to uncover, aspects of the Da Vinci's Last Supper, which I think Last Supper is a word that is designed to confuse what the painting's actually about, okay? And it really is associated to red and blue being associated to access points on Jesus, but on the colors that Jesus wears in the Last Supper are reversed, so it's proper for the observer, right? So it'd be left. Left would be red triangle. Right would be blue circle. No, wait. Opposite. No. Wait. Red circle and blue triangle. There we go. Get my lefts and my rights mixed up. Let's see. We got the Masonics. The single eye. We are siphoning all of this life force into a single structure of Babel. Babel? Bulb? Babel? Beetle? I don't know. And then the left circle would be her curves, right? The curves of the feminine that intersect with the masculine, the calculation, and then give you the human experience. RaEl. And then, depending on my visions are now, depending on which, if am I channeling salt or am I channeling pepper? Salt and pepper. And despite what I'm channeling, I am designed to be in the center stage between the light and the dark, and I am bending, I am spinning the vortex, and I have two directions the vortex will spin. See if I can do the pay. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit harder for my brain. because we're both spinning from the center. Okay, so here is the spin of the face, right? And then you can add your nostrils and your eyeball, third eye, and you'll get natural law. You'll get ears, right? And the mouth will be the M, I would guess. So M would be a lower projection. But I think visually M might be a problem. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Let's continue. I have another good diagram somewhere here. I'll give you a bunch of examples. Okay, so here is the visual field. So let me throw this light on. That should help. Okay. So this is what it looks like fundamentally. This is just the basic shapes that will build the center point flux in your visual field. Okay, and this is kind of what I talk about with brainwave coherence and reprogramming the left brain, because MK Ultra, or English, just America in general, we are directed to the right. It's all ball. It's all ball in America. Football, But that is the ball would be hyperbole, It's not part of the one. It's a projection of the one. So hyperbole, words would be hyperbolic, and you can look up hyperbolic words. Okay, so we go to more plasma physics diagrams. Okay, so I like this little guy. This shape will appear in multiple stone cave paintings. This guy is on the Pope right here. This Ia guy is on one of the Pope's attires. This is Fang from China. Fang being Epa, and then S, or Phi. 5 being this, being a sort of realm shift, right? Because with that right angle occurring naturally, that's like it's like the folding of time space, almost. The geographical overlaying fold that gets projected through the plasma physics of consciousness. Okay. This is super interesting. This is a symbol that Viktor Grebennikov uses to symbolize his flying platform machine. Okay. And this is E, pi in the center, and P. And this would be how the observer projects into the center dot. I'm still dissecting what this means and how his vehicle works, but AE, this is the visuals. This is the formation that all visuals get projected out from and can be warped or reflected. Mirrors can be used to disfigure. This is a diagram of the lungs, okay, and the shape of the bronchi in the lungs. This is sort of how I meditate on this shape and try to inject myself into the center, where I'm breathing in E. You know, you can breathe in being like this, you know, like a warping towards you because you're collecting the light. You are breathing in the light, capable of 2 nostrils, 2 eyes. You're capable of intaking on both hemispheres regardless. You know, and then the breath comes from the center point, right? All information will be at the center point most like cohesively. And then you can dissect all these other bug shapes from this geometry where, you know, all life is connected to the center. We're just occupying different layers of the reality at the same time in a zodiacal dance, right? And then you can go back to the star. And you can dissect your zodiacal angles in the angular way, right? And then you get all your maths that will correspond to different archetypes on the zodiacal wheel. And throughout the day, you will be presented information that is expressed through the center point implosion that corresponds to zodiacal rotation. And then somehow this allows you and your bride to render Earth. Ertahute. Okay. Here's a drawing I did. Oh yeah, Jed. I'll tell you about Jed. Jed. That's Jed. That's Jed too, you know. Jed. And Jed leads to day. Da. And then E continues to perpetuate forever. So we had to bloom. We're blooming into the forever projection of plasmic forces that's perpetuated by RaEl. Right? Ra. Yeah, except RR is backward. English R is backwards. RaEl.